Thanks, Hap. My next guest has some rather disturbing information about the Federal Food and Drug Administration. Please welcome local poet and now secretary of the Fernwood chapter of the Joseph McCarthy Society. It's a new gig for him. Mr. Vern Taylor. Probably met back in the greenish room.
You probably watched her get out of shape. Now we'll hear you get out of shape, huh?
No, I think he's all right. Vern, is the Joseph McCarthy Society a national organization?
Yes, it is, Boris.
One thing I think we should clear up first for the viewers, that is this the same, not the same McCarthy that used to sit on Edgar Bergen's lap?
This is the one who headed the Senate subcommittee hearings.
Oh, I love the other one. That was Charlie, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I'm glad you took the time there to separate the dummies from the real people.
He used to spin his head all the way around like he was possessed.
Great. Vern, I take it you people are admirers of Joseph McCarthy. Is that true?
Of the principles of which he stood for, not his tactics.
Okay, fine, because there's a lot of talk about his tactics. Now let's talk about your discovery.
Thank you, Barth. I have here a list of 26 people from the Food and Drug Administration, which we think are communists.
What? Pretty strong talk there.
And they are conducting an insidious plan to weaken our nation and prime us for a red takeover.
Wow, now how are they doing this? How are you doing this?
They have many methods, like the banning of saccharin. It's quite a coincidence that the banning of saccharin came at the same time as our renewed relations with communist Cuba. It means we'll have to eat sugar, and I'm talking about red sugar, my friend.
Food for thought, Vern.
Sugar that makes us lose our teeth, get fat and lethargic, and makes our faces break out, which means we become unattractive to persons of the opposite sex, which means no procreation, which means our population diminishes in number and strength, which means the red hordes can just walk right over us.
Oh, wow. There's a little Diet Pepsi for you here, maybe
Is that saccharin?
No, they took it out. I think, is this some of the last we got there? We bought those cases, I know.
I don't know.
Actually, as far as the saccharin goes, I think any moron can see your point.
It's perfectly clear to me.
What about the FDA? What about their ban on preservatives? Is this part of your plan as well? Or their plan?
Take preservatives out of your bread, and our bread goes stale. Where do we get bread? From wheat. And where does our wheat go? Sold to Russia. Pretty soon we end up buying bread from Russia. Bread that's laced with true serum and baked in microwave ovens. The same microwaves aimed at our American embassy in Moscow to make our diplomats go nuts.
I'm working up an appetite listening to this.
So you do not believe that all these chemicals in our food are actually harmful?
No, they're not that bad. I say smoke screen.
I think he's got a point here. You know, maybe the FDA is trying to discourage us, and maybe they're working on that side by banning all these different color additives. They banned, red dye number 2.
Right.
Why? To make them food less appealing. How would you like to eat a hot dog that was green? Or who would eat gray licorice? It turns your stomach. Or what about, do you imagine what tomato sauce would look like without that red coloring? No, I agree with you. I think they're trying to take the color out of food, make us lose our appetite, start dieting, and get weak and starve, and then the commies, the Reds, are going to walk in and waltz right over everything, right?
Here.
Not only here, but every place. Oklahoma, wherever they make wheat.
So like an orange, if it's not orange, it's not an orange. Is that what you're saying, Jerry?
Not an orange one, anyway.
It's like having breakfast with Anita Bryant.
By any other name.
I suppose we could take the bull by the horns here, and we could just take a stand, a very staunch American stand, and eat health food.
Sure, health food. High-priced stuff sold by those freaks with the ponytails, live in communes. Don't forget, you are what you eat.
One last question. What if those chemicals like saccharin do cause cancer in humans?
Mr. Kimball, every American must sooner or later ask himself this. Would you rather be sarcogenic or communistic? I say we should show those pinkos in the FDA what we're made of and eat Twinkie for America.
Get those commies into a jam that they can't get out of.
I think as long as it's a free country, I will pass on the Twinkie and,
Fine kettle of fish they've gotten us into, huh?
in the soup. Is that what you're thinking of?
Mock you may, mock you may.
We'll be right back after these words.